If you are an entrepreneur or a high-performing business leader and your health or body isn't where you want it to be, in today's episode of the Kirk Miller Podcast, I'm going to be talking about a subject and a reason of why that could be, and that is accountability. For me, accountability is absolutely essential to greater health if you are not 100% happy with your body or your health. It's the number one reason why people join Built to Last, because the truth is, just like many of our clients when they first join, if you are touching 40, or in your 40s, 50s and 60s, and you haven't got to grips with your health, or it doesn't meet your expectations of how you want to look, how you want to feel, the energy you want, the confidence you want, what you're doing isn't good enough, or at least it doesn't meet your expectations. And for me, nothing is going to help change that than accountability. Whether it's accountability for yourself, within a community, within a coaching service, you need it. And if you are listening to this and you're 100% happy with your health and your body, then I can almost guarantee you probably have some way of keeping yourself accountable, or maybe you do have an existing coach. Good for you. But the reason why I believe accountability is so important, without it, it's so easy to bullshit yourself in sessions about how hard you're actually working. It's easy to stand still with your numbers. It's easy to cut corners with your diet. It's easy to skip getting your sessions in, your steps in, your movement. It's more simply put, it's easy to tell yourself lies about what you need to do to take you to where you want to be. Okay? So I'm going to be breaking down very, very simple, very, very simply, what I do to keep myself accountable and what our clients do to keep themselves accountable. Because the problem is, if we don't have accountability or a pulse on how we're actually performing, how we're looking, whatever the key metrics are that are important to you, then we will go backwards. Remember, what we don't pay attention to declines. But on the flip side, what we do pay attention to improves. And what we pay consistent attention to will improve dramatically. You will get to where you want to be quicker. I guarantee you have evidence in your life to date, across business, across family, across team growth, that accountability has helped your success and growth in that given area. You can't build a great team if you haven't implemented accountability with yourself, for the team and for team members, making sure they hit targets. And if they don't hit targets, evaluating what you need to do to hit targets next time. Business, you can't wing your way to a great business, great profits. Family, I'm pretty sure if you've got children, you keep them accountable with homework and make sure you've got certain things in place that are improving them as they grow up. Otherwise, you're relying on chance and willpower. And the reality is, when you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s in particular, if you're not where you want to be with your health and your body, you probably know that you need to train a little bit harder, or maybe more effectively. You probably know you need to eat a little bit better, or manage your calories better, or maybe have a different system for your food. You probably know you need to move a little bit more, especially now you've got more to think about in your professional world. Right? If you know sort of what you need to do, but you're not doing it, accountability will make you follow through more. Because when you have an emotional investment in that outcome and the process to reach that outcome, and even a financial investment, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to follow through. As I said, the main two reasons people join Built to Last, outside of the skill set, of course, we help them train better, eat a little bit better, all that type of stuff, but it's to provide structure and accountability. We don't let people off the hook if they don't hit targets. Every single one of our clients have 30-day targets in pursuit of their longer-term goals. And if they don't hit the targets, we're asking them why. Could we have done something better? What could you do better? What's going well? What's not going well? How can we improve how we train, how we move, how we eat, how we manage yourself around our lifestyle to keep moving forward? But we've got a pulse check on that through different means, and I'll explain this in a second. Because if you've built a great business and you've reached a level of status within your career, which at one point was just a dream, just a target, I guarantee you've measured your progress in pursuit or along that journey of where you are right now. At some point, you didn't know what you knew now, and you weren't at maybe the financial status you are now. You weren't at the career position you are now, but you would have had people along the way to keep you accountable. Of course, you would have upgraded skill sets, been on courses, had mentors perhaps, but above all else, you'd have had people holding you to a higher standard than what your existing standard was. And the same applies with your health and your body. Wishing for greater health, wishing for a greater body, if you've been trying for years, something's got to give. Sometimes you just need people to, give you some straight talk, direct you to what you need to do. Make sure you follow through, call you out if you're bullshitting yourself, you're cutting corners, because it isn't magic. Anyone can become healthier. Anyone can look better. Anyone can become fitter if they follow through more. Okay? And the reality is, if you have your own business, I guarantee every week or every month as a minimum, you would measure your revenue, your expenses, your profits. And if the numbers aren't going in the direction of what you want them to, you would action immediately to change the course of that. You would make immediate action. So if you can apply anywhere near the same level of care and attention to detail and basically evaluation on your body, then that's going to be as successful and progress at the rate that maybe what your career is just now. Because a lot of people come to Built to Last and they're very successful, they've got the family, but that's been at the expense of their body, their physical health, and their mental health alongside that, okay? They've put other people first, they've chased money first, and I get it. When you've got a family to provide for, you'll do anything for your family, right, to provide safety and opportunities. But my challenge is, if you're saying you're going to do anything for your family, for those you love most who need you healthier, become stronger, become fitter. Because that's just as valuable, especially long-term, as your bank balance. So what I want to do here is just really, really simplify a mini framework of how you can increase your accountability, whether you have a coach or not. Right. Firstly, you need to think about, how am I going to keep myself accountable with my health and my body? For me, really, really simple things. Weigh yourself daily. I've said this many, many times on previous podcasts. Weigh yourself daily if you want to have a healthier body weight. You want to stay lean. You want to stay fit. You don't want to feel sluggish. The stats are staggering. Those who do not weigh themselves regularly are more likely to lose a track on where their actual body weight is. They're more likely to put on body fat, put on body weight a lot quicker than someone who is weighing themselves daily. And you may be listening to this, maybe not too intrigued at jumping on the scales just now if you're overweight, but you'd never do that in business. And just because with body, you might not get that immediate gratification, and you've been in the gym for a week or two, or maybe even a matter of months, but at least you can start making a change if you're not happy with the number you see on the body weight. Just like you can change things if you're not happy with what you see in your business and in your bank balance. But one of the number one ways to keep yourself accountable, if you want to match your expectations, how you want to look and your body weight, is to actually weigh yourself every day. That is the one daily habit I do first thing every single morning. And I've never been out of shape. And I'm sure, just like in business, if you listen to Success Leaves Clues, copy me. I encourage all of our clients to weigh themselves daily because it will keep them disciplined. Because if that weight starts shooting up more than what they like, they know they've overcooked it or overconsumed, with their food, or moved less, or not trained hard enough. Okay. The next one is pictures. Take pictures and or videos of your body every week or every second week. Like, we do inside Built to Last. If you're staring yourself in the mirror or a phone and then looking back on it and you don't like what you see, then you can use that as motivation to change that. And then on the flip side, of course, this is why we're so hot on our clients checking in regularly. And even when someone's reached their first transformation touch point, their first fat loss touch point, one of the things that's going to help you stay there and keep improving is evaluating your physique on a week-to-week basis, or every second week is an absolute minimum. I evaluate my body every single week. Every single week. Just as I've said a few minutes ago, what you measure, you can improve. What you don't measure, you can lose control with. And that is why, for me, so many people are inconsistent with their physical shape, because they go months and months and months without actually evaluating, how do I actually look? And do I like the way I see myself? If the answer is no, then you can use that as fuel to improve your habits. Then, more granular than that, one of the things that we do with our clientele, and I do it regularly, not just for social media, is video your lifts. If you are looking to improve your technique and get stronger, continually improve your training. And the reason that's so important, don't forget, is if you're progressing, you're going to want to keep doing it. And if you want to keep doing it, you're going to keep yourself in the gym. And you're going to get a sense of accomplishment and a sense of pleasure from doing that session. Remember, deep down, one of the fundamental laws of human nature is we want to get pleasure from what we're doing. So if you can film yourself with your lifts, one, it's going to keep you sharp with your technique. Two, I can guarantee, like our clients who send us videos, they'll lift more. I know I certainly lift more when I'm being held accountable with a camera that might be going on social media or to my clientele, right? But it's going to keep you getting stronger. And no one is that good. They cannot get stronger. Nobody. I say it to my team. I say it to myself. I say it to our clientele. Even our grade A clients, Built to Last Hall of Famers. Unfortunately, with health, fitness, body, right, contrary to the bullshit you might see on social media, there is no end to your health or body. Once you've got in shape, the challenge is to stay in shape. Anyone can get in shape once. Anyone can do a great phase of great lifts for a certain period. But if you can't keep doing it, what's the point? It's just having a business that's doing really, really well for a few months or a year, 2 years, and then it falls to pieces, goes out of business. What's the point? You've experienced pleasure, progress, and then you're going to experience the flip side, which is not going to make you feel good. But just evaluate how, and I don't think you go far wrong with body weight daily on empty stomach, pictures, videos of your body, or both. Videos for me are even more graphic because there's no hiding, there's no filters. That's why I put videos up of myself, for my social media, for my team, because you can't airbrush videos. You know, what you see is what you get. And it's staring yourself in the face with ruthless honesty and going, am I happy with what I see? And if I'm not, what do I need to do? And on the flip side, when you see yourself progressing week to week, month to month, or over a year to year period, it's incredible motivation when you see yourself from day one when you first kicked off your journey to where you are now. That'll give you the fuel to keep going, especially if you are emotionally connected to how bad you felt when you first kicked off that journey, right? Notice how good you feel as a result of seeing that physical identity change. Because when we expand and improve how we see ourselves physically, it affects how we feel emotionally. Okay, they work hand in hand. And video your lifts. Okay, it's graphic. Secondly, once you've evaluated how you're going to stay accountable, break down when. What is the frequency? Are you going to do it daily, weekly, monthly, every second week? The answer to that question is going to be what you feel is going to help you stay most consistent. For me, evaluate my physique every single week. Every single week keeps me sharp. Keeps me sharp. We say to our clients every second week is an absolute minimum. Just don't want to overwhelm them with copious amounts of check-ins, but we don't care if they were sending us pictures and videos every single day. It's going to be the thing that's going to keep you on point. It's going to keep you on point, keep you consistent. So really take time to think, what is going to keep me more consistent? Is that looking at my body and my lifts weekly, monthly? But I really encourage, as a minimum, the to weigh yourself every single day. That is a phenomenal discipline. I guarantee you will maintain your body weight a lot more effectively across a year, weighing yourself daily than not doing it. Lastly is who you're going to stay accountable to. Who you're going to stay accountable to. So we have how, we have when, we have who. Is it going to be a coach? Is it going to be a friend? Is it going to be a partner? Is it going to be a community? And you might be listening to this thinking, I'm extremely self-motivated. Right? I am too. But I still like having people in my corner who hold me to a higher standard. I have a mentor who ups my game in a given area that he has a higher standard than me, or has even more success than me. Right? I believe it's a form of arrogance if you feel that you are better than everyone at everything. I think it's ignorant, and you'll stand still, especially when it comes to your health and your body. Right? If you are currently the strongest, the fittest, have got the best body shape out of all of your immediate peer group, go and find someone or a group, community, service, whatever, that is going to make you up your game, because you've always got another level inside of you. Right? And if you probably think, God, that's a bit much, Kirk, you probably listen to the wrong podcast. This is for growth-minded people who want to continually get better, however small those margins are. Because one of my passions is to make sure that you have a constant state of improvement mentality, because when you operate with that mindset and you keep growing, you feel better. It's a spiritual need. And when you grow, you can give more, you squeeze more out of life. So ask yourself, who can keep me more accountable? Is it a coach, a coaching service, a friend, a partner, a community? And how many touch points, what are the touch points with these people or with that service that you need to keep yourself more accountable? All right. So just to summarize, we want how we're going to keep ourselves accountable, when and who. And if you don't have conclusive answers in those three areas, you are lining yourself up to fail or stand still. And one of the things you can do right now in this given moment, or when you've finished this podcast, is look yourself in the mirror and say, how am I keeping myself accountable? Right? When am I keeping myself accountable? And who am I keeping myself accountable to? And am I actually progressing? And is the way I look, is my health aligned to the expectation I want? Right? And if the answer is no, and you're not willing to step up the game with your accountability or with your actions, lower the bar a little bit with your expectations, because you'll be continually disappointed if you don't meet your expectations. Okay? And then, as always, I like to leave some questions. I've got 4, right? Because this is a subject close to my heart just now. But some questions to evaluate too. How often do I evaluate how I look? So if you were to evaluate, say, the last 6 months, because we're nearly half a year in now at the time of this podcast, ask yourself, how often do I evaluate how I look? Second question, how often do I check in with how I feel? How often do I check in with how I feel? Because ultimately, the quality of our emotions really shapes the quality of our life. If we are experiencing more positive emotions, we're generally going to be feeling happier, more content, more present. But if we feel reactive and more frequent negative emotions, and part of this could be influenced by our health, by our energy, by how we look, then we might need to look at that a little bit more frequently. Then the other questions we have is my current method of accountability making me better, worse, or the same? So one of the key questions you can ask yourself right now is my current method of accountability making me better, worse, or keeping me the same? And if it's keeping you the same or making you worse, then what do you need to do, or more so, what you're willing to do to change that? And the fourth question sort of ties in with that. What could I do right now to become more accountable to my actions? Because we can all say we want to look great, we want better health, we want more energy, but ultimately it comes down to your actions. And if you know that you cut corners when no one's watching, you don't push as hard with your sessions, you bullshit yourself with your food, you're consistently falling short of your step target, that's not going to change until you're up your actions. And sometimes we just need an external force or someone to call us out and keep us sharp with actually following through on our actions, and watch how much better you feel, because that's how confidence is built, doing what you said you would do. Quote, even though that is a quote I've just said, is You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. You are what you do, not what you'll say you'll do. Talking will only get you so far, right? And if you're a high-performing entrepreneur, deep down in your heart, you do not feel at your best when you're talking about what you're going to do. It's when you set a target, you follow through, and as a result of that, you feel tremendous. So hopefully that's helped, guys. Accountability is king. As I said, no one is that good. They don't need it. I need it, and I've been in shape for so many years now. So just mirror the standards and the mindset you have within your business when it comes to accountable, measuring what's working, what isn't, what do I need to do to hit that next target. Do the same with your body and watch your physique, your health go to a completely different level. Thank you so much as always, and I'll see you next time.